Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armored Warfare. Today I'm giving you some M1A1 Abrams gameplay. There it is, fully upgraded with its Tusk armor kit on the sides and the little cage armor on the back there. Now, immediately you can notice that the vehicle is a damn sight faster than the M1, a vehicle which, like I said, is thoroughly mediocre for its tier 7 against the likes of Challenger 1s and even T80s. Now, the M1 does improve on a host of characteristics, but retains one fatal weakness in the front of the hull, but we'll talk about that later. Now, going at 46 kilometers an hour, very nice. We would be down the road a little bit if we were playing the M1 still. So, good turret traverse, good track traverse, and you're going to need that as, like many MBTs, with the exception of the Challenger 1 and Challenger 2, you have quite poor side armor. Not as bad as a Leopard, and not as bad as that Type 98 awful vehicle. Gosh, that vehicle is pretty bad. Good gun, but whatever. So, you're going to need it to keep your frontal armor facing the enemy. Weasel 1. Can we get a shot on him? He's behind that building, so we'll just move up a bit. Kind of worried about that Leopard 2. He can get a shot down onto us, but he appears not to have line of sight. Well, we just hit his tracks, so Weasel 1, biggest troll of the game. But then we get a second shot in for 500 damage. Now, I've set up my M1 to have good DPM, good aim time, and even without my retrofits, it has good aim time and accuracy, 0.08 accuracy, and aim time of 2.1 seconds, I think. So, good gun handling. Unfortunately, the penetration is worst in its tier and class of only 525mm with the fully upgraded AP rounds. I don't even bother with heat, especially when I'm playing against tier 9 and 10 vehicles. Oh, the tier 9 and 10s really wreck this thing. Specifically the tier 10s, but the tier 9s will have a field day with you if you let them have the chance. Got a good elevated position here, and we're going to use our effective hull armor and turret armor from up here. Just a quick note, however, if nobody's ever played the M1 or the M1A1, M1A2, or the M1A3, there we go. There is one fatal weakness with the vehicle from the front. Right there. See that little viewport? Just look for the little triangle on the front of the hull, and if you can get a clean shot on it, take it. You'll be able to penetrate it most of the time if you're in an equal tier vehicle. And that is the weakness of all of the Abrams from tiers 7 through 10, because they are basically modernized variants of the original M1, so they're going to retain some of the flaws in its armor layout and design. Even if the thickness of the front is very good, it's 650 thick on the front plate. Obviously the upper plate will be much thicker than that. The lower plate is very big on this vehicle, but it isn't weak at all, similar to that of the Ariette's lower plate. Both of those are not very weak at all. You will probably be penetrated, however, by T14 Armatas and vehicles of tier 10 with 700 to 800 penetration side armor. I'm not angling to that guy there, so fair enough. Clean, easy penetration. We turn away from all of those enemies down there, get a good hit into him, he gets a good hit into us because I'm angling slightly poorly. You have to keep your armor frontally facing at all times. It's not like a Challenger where you can get away with it. And even an Ariete with those nice blocks that appear on the side, although it doesn't cover all of the front of the vehicle, and definitely not the engine bay where you can get some nice critical hits on the Ariete. Regardless, the vehicle, the M1A1, is a damn sight better than the M1 in terms of mobility and frontal armor, and gun penetration. Retains the good handling of the M1, but it is a damn sight better improvement. Fortunately, we only hit the tracks there of that Challenger 1. If you're playing the M1 and are struggling through it, it does get a lot better with the M1A1, but if you're in tier 9 and 10 matches, you're gonna get ruined. And At the moment in Armored Warfare, you have a lot of tier 10 players And if you're playing tier 8 and 9, at certain times, you're just going to get thrown into those matches. Regardless, let's just look at the post-game stats. So here we are, in that very quick match on Cold Strike. We capped out, obviously. I still managed to do 5,100 damage and 3,000 almost spotting damage with 12 enemy vehicles spotted. The host of medals, I keep forgetting the name of them. One of them's Recon, one of them's Sniper or something. I can't remember the name of the one on the left. But we came on top of the team in terms of damage and reputation, base reputation. The enemy team, Challenger 1 there, very strong vehicle, and can do well in tier 8 matches with 2,700 damage. Another M1 doing 2,700 damage as well. 15 shots fired, 14 hits, 1 miss, and we only killed 1 enemy, but we damaged 6 of them, and we also blocked 2,200 damage and gained a total profit of 226,000. So, there you go with the M1A1 to Abrams. It is a damn sight better than the M1 at tier 7, and like I was saying, if you're grinding through the M1 and are not really enjoying it, it does get a lot better in terms of your mobility, but get used to that front and weak spot because you're not going to get rid of it at tier 9, tiers 8, 9 and 10. You can do things to try and hide it, like wiggle your hull and try and cover your weak spot with your gun, as it is a center mounted weakness. You can try and do that. So there are ways of trying to mitigate it, but it is still going to be a bit of a problem unless you can deal with it. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I've been Geogen, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.